Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Ebony.
And I'm Erica, and for this video, you may be one of those naturals who are contemplating getting relaxed hair, but after some consideration, you may be realizing that relaxed hair just isn't for you, which is fine, but you still want the benefits of relaxed hair, and that main benefit is straight hair.
The good news is that there are options to get that relaxed hair look without the relaxer. The bad news is that there are a lot of options, and you may be overwhelmed with which straight hair option is for you.
So Ebony and I researched those options and weighed the pros and the cons.
The first up is protective styling with wigs and weave. People do it all the time when they want to give their natural hair a break. Straight hair wigs and weave give you the option to easily maintain your hair without having to straighten your actual real hair underneath.
But there are some cons to protective styling, one being that you can actually damage your hair underneath if you aren't installing it properly. Also, you're eventually going to have to give your hair a break at some point. I don't know anybody that has worn a protective style every single day of their life. So if you are going this route to manage your hair, it kind of is like a temporary fix, and it can get pretty costly, especially installing a good long-lasting weave and wearing it all the time.
Now, we don't know too much about wigs and weave, but we feel like this option might be perfect if you want like the best of both worlds, which is having straight hair with a protective style, then just snatching the wig off and tending to your natural hair.
So if you do want more of a permanent solution, just stay tuned to the rest of the video to hear our other options. Alright, so the next option is getting a silk press or a blowout. Now this option I feel like is the more popular option among those who want straight hair but just don't want relaxed hair. To be honest, silk press and blowout, they're kind of interchangeable, but
I used to think they were the same
thing,
but they're not.
Yeah, the press part I feel like is when they use like a pressing comb, like a straightening comb, that an old-fashioned straightening comb that our grandma used to use.
This is actually a great option for those who want to keep their hair straight all the time. But the key with the silk presses and blowout is to make them last. So yeah, just wrapping your hair every night is essential to making your silk presses last.
And silk presses are great because there aren't any chemicals being applied to your hair. And the process of shampooing, conditioning, deep conditioning, rinsing out and blow drying, it's not a long process, and it's generally reasonably priced, and sometimes it can be done at home.
On the flip side, although there are no chemicals involved, there is a lot of heat. So if you want to keep your hair straight all the time, I suggest stretching your washes to like once a month.
And y'all know we do this, we stretch our washes once a month. We have relaxed hair, but I do know Natural Nisi, she's a natural hair YouTuber, and she actually does this when she straightens her hair. She makes her straight hair last a month. And the reason for this is if you are getting silk presses like every week, your hair could be prone to heat damage, and also that can get a little costly.
Twice a month is okay. I do know people that go to the salon every other week, and if you can take care of your hair in between those appointments, you should be okay.
I will say that if you are into intense workouts, or if you live in an area where it's extremely humid, I don't think silk presses are for you, because I feel like your hair will revert easily, and it's basically just a waste of time and money.
So if this is you, I would only get a silk press for every once in a while, or just maybe for a special occasion. Alright, so now we're getting into the more semi-permanent option. Okay, so first up are keratin treatments, and we know a thing or two about keratin treatments.
Yeah, as you guys know, we got one a couple years ago. We actually have quite a few videos on it, so we'll have a playlist down below. Now, keratin treatments, as y'all know, they do focus on strengthening the hair because it is a protein, also while straightening it with a formaldehyde gas. And when I say straighten, I actually mean that it actually loosens your curl pattern. So if you have a hard time managing your natural hair, having a keratin treatment will just make the process more manageable whether your hair is wet or dry.
Now with a looser curl pattern, it takes no time in getting it straight if that's the look you're going for. I think keratin treatments are great, especially as a way to get protein to your hair. Now the process of applying a keratin treatment is different depending on which brand you're using.
Now with most treatments, you apply it, blow dry, flat iron, rinse it out, and then just repeat that blow dry and flat iron process again. Our process was different. Again, it depends on the brand, and the process can actually take a while depending on how long your hair is.
Usually keratin treatments can take around 2 to 4 hours to complete. Another drawback is the price. They run around the range of $300 to $400, but they're supposed to last for 4 months. Some people can make it last longer. We did that.
Yeah,
ours last like at least around 6
I don't think it was that long. I think it was like 6 months.
Well, we went over 6, I think. What's that?
Did we? I felt like my keratin was kind of wearing out after 6.
Well, yeah, you notice it starts to wear out,
right,
but like it was still like you could still see the effects from it.
Yeah. So. Again, keratin treatments use formaldehyde gas to make the hair straight, and inhaling large amounts of formaldehyde gas can actually be pretty harmful to you. However, I do think that it's more harmful for the stylist who's installing the keratin treatment like every week or something than it is for the client who's just in there like once or twice a year.
Now, this is a concern for you. There are keratin treatments that don't use formaldehyde that you can look into, or you can get like a non-chemical straightening treatment, which we'll actually get into later. Okay, now we're gonna get more into permanent hair straightening, and that is the Japanese hair straightening treatment. This treatment gets your hair pinned straight by breaking the bonds of the hair that gives your hair your curl pattern. And the process is a little similar to a keratin treatment, but with added steps. You apply the treatment, you rinse it out, you blow dry, flat iron, then you add a neutralizer, and then you also repeat that process of rinsing it out, blow dry, flat iron. Whew. Yeah, I know, it's a lot, and actually this process is said to take up to 6 hours. That process scares me. Like, everybody talks about keratin, oh my god, it's gonna change my curl pattern. Listen, you ain't seen nothing until you seen a Japanese straightening treatment, because that is like pin straight permanent. Yeah, this is super permanent and it lasts up to 6 months, and like I say, your hair is just super straight. Now, the downside to this treatment is that it is very expensive, and I'm talking $600 to $800 expensive. So if you are serious, like really serious about getting rid of your curl pattern, then this option is for you. Because your curl pattern won't be the same even when the new growth comes in. And Japanese hair straightening did get a bad rep in the 90s because it was damaging hair. Just like a relaxer, it does use its chemicals to straighten your hair. And honestly, if you're just thinking about getting this option, just go ahead and get a relaxer. I mean, it's so expensive. It's much cheaper getting a relaxer. A lot cheaper, yeah. Now, relaxers aren't as long lasting as Japanese treatments, but if you do train your hair to stretch, it can be. Kind of like we do, we get our relaxers once a year. But the reason I put this option in is because Japanese hair straightening treatments have come a long way, and that they don't use a lot of harsh chemicals anymore. Now, Blow Me Away Salon, it's here in Los Angeles. They use an organic permanent smoothing treatment that lasts around 6 to 12 months. Now, I'm sure there are more treatments like this popping up, so if you're willing to commit to straight hair all day, every day, then maybe this is the option for you. Now, this kind of brings me to our next option, and that is non-chemical straightening treatments. The two that I'm going to talk about that have been made popular in the last like 5 years is the nanoplastia hair treatment and the cysteine hair treatment. Nanoplastia is a hair treatment that uses amino acids to penetrate the cortical layer of the hair. Yeah, it's a bit like hair Botox, where it restores the hair and just kind of goes and fills in the gaps in the weaker parts of your hair. But unlike hair Botox, nanoplastia is a straightening treatment as well, and it can last up to 5 months. Yeah, to better explain nanoplastia, it's kind of like if the keratin treatment and hair Botox had a baby. Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of the two, and again, there are no chemicals involved, but it is able to restore and heal your hair while straightening it at the same time. Now, the cysteine treatment also uses amino acids to strengthen your hair, and to better put it, it's like a keratin treatment but without the formaldehyde. So if you're thinking about getting a keratin treatment but a little iffy about the chemicals involved and the formaldehyde and everything, definitely look into cysteine treatments. However, these treatments are a little bit more expensive than a keratin treatment, and it's kind of annoying because they do last like 4 months, which is the same as a keratin treatment. So all these options goes to show you that you can have straight hair without going to the creamy crack. And we hope we helped you with either option, whether you're on the fence of getting a relaxer or not. I gotta say, even though we are a relaxed hair channel, like, we're not those type of people that are gonna push relaxers on you. And that's kind of like why we did this video, and I'm kind of glad we did this video because it kind of shows that how far we've come and how far a lot of these treatments have come. You know, back in the 90s, relaxers and everything had bad reps, but they're getting a lot better. And the fact that we have these treatments to talk about in this video, and it shows that, hey, you don't need a relaxer and stuff, like if it's not for you, but you want straight hair. There are a lot of people out there, more than we that want straight hair. We get comments all the time. They want their hair to be, you know, more maybe they just want to slide it in a bun or a ponytail. They for some strange reason they don't want to go to the relaxer, which is none of our business. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you guys have tried any of these treatments, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!